Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share with you my Spring TBR. So I got my TBR card here and I will fill up this middle shelf with the books that I am hoping to read this spring. I already did a winter TBR, so I will link that at the end. And in April I will also do a video talking about all the books that I managed to read from that TBR. Spoiler alert! It's not gonna be as many as I thought it would be. So yeah, this is just a fun way to kind of update my TBR, you know, get some new books on this card. So I'm excited about them. And yeah, let's just talk about it. So I think the first books I want to mention are the non-fiction books that I'm planning on reading in the spring. And I have 3 of those here with me. The first one was a present I got for my birthday last year, so I've had it over a year now and I'm really excited to read this before I move because this is a book about a woman who lived in the city I'm currently in for a while, and I think she is very interesting. There's also a movie. So she's called Lou Andrea Salome and the book is called Der bittersüße Funke Ich. So it is in German and it's a biography about this person. I think she dated a couple of like very famous guys. Like, for example, there's a quote of Nietzsche on here, what he said about her. So yeah, I think she was very influential. She was kind of like in these circles of very influential people at the time, and I think she lived a very unconventional life. I think she married like very late, or I don't know, something like that. So I definitely need to read this biography to know more. I can't talk, I'm so sorry. This next one I got for my birthday this year and I love the color of this book. This is Radikale Zärtlichkeit, warum Liebe politisch ist. So why love is political. And yeah, I think this is a book about love, about relationships and capitalism. So I'm very intrigued to read that. It's also a German book and yeah, I've seen it in bookstores and I'm very intrigued. And then lastly, we have Ace, What Asexuality Reveals About Desire, Society and the Meaning of Sex. This is also a book I'm super interested in. I wished for this and got it for Christmas. I was lying, I also got the pink book for Christmas and not for my birthday. But my birthday is very close to Christmas, so I always mix them up. But yeah, those were Christmas gifts last year. And I'm very, very excited to read this one as well. This obviously focuses on sex and asexuality and our societies today. Okay, my next little pile of books here I would categorize as classics or modern classics. And the first one that I will definitely read this spring, I'm so excited about this book, is Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. And this is also one I got for Christmas last year. As I said, I'm super excited. This is kind of sci-fi because it has a time travel element to it, but yeah, this is mostly like historical fiction about slavery, I would say, but we follow a more modern day character. This was written a while ago, so even the modern day character isn't quite so modern anymore, but yeah, I'm really intrigued to read this book. Then another one I've been meaning to read for a while now is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. This is the last Austen novel that is completed that I haven't read. So yeah, I really need to get to it. I really need to read this. So yeah, I hope it will happen this spring. And then the next 2 are more like wild cards. I bought them so many years ago and never read them. One is this collection of Oscar Wilde fairy tales and tales in general. No idea. I don't know. It's still like in the wrapping and stuff. Yeah, I need to read this book. Why? Why do I buy books and never read them? And similarly, I have this book also still wrapped. This is Marquis de Sade, I don't know the English title, Die Philosophie im Boudoir. So Marquis de Sade is the one who started writing very steamy books in like 17 whatever year it was. So yeah, he was in prison a lot. He was considered mad, but he gave us very big books that mix sex with philosophy. So yeah, I'm a bit scared of this one. I loved Justine, but I had a hard time reading Juliette, so I'm not quite sure how I will feel about this big book. And then the last pile here I would consider more like, yeah, normal fiction, like there's some fantasy in it and stuff. Some books I'm excited about, some I'm not so sure about. So this one I got as a gift also last year for my birthday. This is a kind of romance novel with a cat. This cover alone gives me nightmares. This was published in English with the title Love Saves the Day by Gwen Cooper. And I hope it's cute because I love cats, but you know, I'm not a romance reader. I don't know. Then another book I got as a gift, but like many years ago, and it is The Children of Húrin by Tolkien. This is one of those books that are part of the Silmarillion, but for some reason were made into actual books now. I never really knew how I felt about it, because I've read the Silmarillion multiple times, but I think I should give this a try and just see for myself. So yeah, I thought I'd put it on this TBR because I love Tolkien. Another gift. Do you see a theme here? This one I got for my birthday last year as well, and it's Normal People by Sally Rooney. I'm fairly certain that I will read this book because I will probably do a buddy read with the friend who gave me this, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we will read this very soon. Then one of the last books I still have from the Moth box that does sadly not exist anymore. It's called The Handworth Times, and this is a book that I don't know how I feel about. I don't really know what it's about. It's just I look at the cover and sometimes I just feel bored. And sometimes it intrigues me. So yeah, I think this is a book that will focus on like poverty in England or something like that, or maybe somewhere else. I have no idea what Handworth is. But yeah, it will probably focus on like society, poverty, stuff like that in the UK. Then we have a very tiny book. This one I got at a used bookstore, and I don't know what this is really, but it is written by Suzanne Hill, and I really enjoy her like horror stories. This does not seem like horror stories, so I have no idea. It's called Listening to the Orchestra and Other Stories, and I think there's like 4 stories, maybe? I actually don't know. Maybe it's just one story. It also seems like it's signed. I have no idea. It's 4 stories, I think. So yeah, we'll see about that. I have no idea what to expect, but I will give it a try. And then lastly, I have one book that I found many years ago at one of those little free libraries. It is called Mathilde by Leonhard Frank. This is probably a German book, but I think it is not set in Germany. I found a little description, or like, I think the author, yeah, when he wrote this, he lived in Paris and Hollywood. And this was written during the Second World War. I have no idea, but it looked very intriguing, so maybe one day I will actually read this. I'm always impressed how they fit perfectly. This is not planned out, you guys. This is not planned out, but it is perfect. So these are the books I currently have physically, but I have a couple of books that I want to read that I don't own yet. So let's talk about those for a second. The first 3 books are the Greenbone Saga. I never know what it's called. So I want to read Jade City, Jade War, and Jade Legacy, which is a trilogy, and I think I will read those as audiobooks. And I also want to read The Color of Magic, which is the first book that was ever published in the Discworld series. So I'm not quite sure whether I will listen to it on audio or whether I will get the German version from my library, or maybe I will just buy the book. I'm not quite sure yet. So yeah, that's all the books. That's the books that are on my spring TBR. So wish me luck that I will actually read some of them. Maybe, possibly. There are some that I'm really excited about, but there's also some books on here that I have not read for years and years. So that's always interesting. So as I said, I will soon do a video about my winter TBR and how that went. If you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe. And if you want me to know about any of these books, maybe you've read any of these and you want to tell me what you thought, then please leave a comment or also like, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!